As you mentioned, from my experience, past 3 years in America, I'd like to talk about the reality of homeless people in America, especially of teenagers. According to research of DoSomething.org, there's 1.7 million of teenagers that are homeless in America, and 39% of them are under 18 years old, and 75% of them use drug and alcohol as a means to be self-medication towards what they're facing to in their life, or abuse. And every single year, approximately 5,000 of people that are homeless, that are a teenager, commit suicide because of their illness and traumatic experience in their life. And the average of teenager homeless people the average age is actually at 14.7. And think about what were you guys doing at around 14 or 15 years old? Some of them are probably homeschooled still. Some of them are maybe going to school, maybe just playing game. It was a very warm experience around that age, right? 14 years old, just getting love from our parents, brothers and sisters. And 50% of young people has reported that they are homeless, that they have reported their parents knew that they were leaving home, they didn't care, or they were forced to leave. I'm just wondering how many of us could be here in this place without getting help from our parents? Not many. Probably none in this classroom. So I was just wondering, how do they survive without getting help from their parents on the street? It is just so dangerous and cold outside. I mean, how do they survive on the street without getting help from our parents or family members? A lot of them 75% of them use drug, join the gang, or prostitute. In fact, I met people, it was at Salinas. This is a guy who gave his name, and then with his prayer request, his name is Raw. And he told me his name with his email address, and then he wrote a little message right here. Please pray for my family. And he was telling me his story about his life, how he involved in a drug when he was 13 years old, and he became homeless he was about 40 or 50 years old. He's been homeless for pretty much all his life, except that 12 years passed. And then I met this guy during canvassing time. He was in Merced area, that how he joined the gang. He was telling me about his story, how he used to be homeless because his parents kicked him out of his house when he was 7. And then he joined this gang. No one took care of him. No one loved him. But the gang members are only the members that they will accept him. And ever since he joined the gang, he had a house, he had a food, he has a warm clothes. And he told me he had never regretted that ever since he joined the gang member. And last year, it was Thanksgiving. One of my friend and I and his uncle, we went to Yuba City to have some little bit of grocery shopping. It was a dollar store. And then after we're done with shopping, we're just wandering around outside, and there's 2 girls I met. She looked around 13 years old, with a really thick makeup and inappropriate clothing. So with the glow, I asked, so do you guys live around here? She said she lives in the street, but yeah, I guess I do. That's what she told me. And she was telling me, do you want a business? Now I asked, what do you mean by do you want business? I was just kind of confused. I never really met this type of girl. She was asking me, do you have a car, or do you want to take me to this certain place? She was looking for men to take her to certain places. She was doing prostituting. So I prayed with her. I shared a little bit of my testimony with her, with the glow, and she was telling me a lot of them, most of the prostitutes in the city, in Yuba City, they are under 20 years old. That they had to leave their home because of their parents kicked them out. We didn't have enough love in their home, so they're looking for some type of love in this city. Yes, this is the reality of homeless teenager in America. This seems to be very interesting because as year passes, there's more this type of homeless kids in the street. And very interestingly, I saw the interview in YouTube, the homeless people and the experience from their parents, and their parents has also experienced the homeless or similar type of life before. This was they were calling homeless cycle. And as they grew up in that kind of environment, somehow using drug or I don't know what kind of things they did, but somehow when they made a little small family, and after they had a kid, this kind of cycle is going again and again and again. In fact, there's two husbands or maybe three husbands, three different types of different fathers or mothers' kids, and they do the same thing to their own child. Yes, this is the reality of America, teenager homeless kids.